welcome to Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc Anniversary Edition Day 4 here now. It's just Day Trigger Happy Havoc, get this thing a lot more time. Yeah, we got through investigation part last time, and now we're about to face our first ever graduation. And I figured this would take us to the graduation. So that's why we stayed right here and stopped on Tuesday. Again, I do apologize. What was the answer to last? I don't want to apologize about last night, just ending about finishing. I didn't want to finish it last night, but just, again, there was something. It just was just like it was taking too long, and I was like, you know what, I just finished this that time, and then it just works better that way. Let's do this. Yes, I made sure to turn off the sneak. You're late, Makoto. We've been waiting for you. I bet you were afraid we was giving us the money you are. Jump to conclusions. We'll say that for the class trial. And we're going to reveal the details of Makoto's crime. Well, they really are convinced I did it, but I didn't do it. Makoto, me and Sayaka both know that too, all too well. Then who is the killer? I'm telling you that ring is a giveaway. What if murdered Sayaka? Is it really what it was?
Is everyone here? Okay then. Please board the elevator in front of you, which will transport you to the courtroom, where all your fates will be decided. I'll meet you all down there. I'll be waiting.
I don't know whether to think you're the culprit for shit. Maybe I'm leaning that way. Let's get started.
Hey.
Get on the elevator.
Well then.
Let's begin. Good idea.
Yes, indeed.
Are you scared?
Hey.
No, scared. No, scared isn't quite right. Except for it's up to you to uncover the mystery trying to case is solved. You never come to grips with the truth. Truth is Sayaka's death? Oh, yeah, well, need someone to tell me to do that. Sayaka's honor? So I'll find out who the real killer is. This voice to try to give myself courage to tremble. I turned trembling with anticipation toward the elevator. It's a photo can feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. I was already in the elevator when I finally stepped in. It was close, the elevator started to move. Tilt box descended with the heavy clinking sound towards the school basement. I wonder if this is how death row inmates feel when the time is found come.
Oh.
And Naz, one of the defendant waiting to receive this judgment. As it shared its anxiety, the elevator lowered us further and further into the bowels of the school. Ah, you finally read. What do you think? It feels real, like a real movie set. Alright, I'm a close. Holy shit. Okay, everyone gets assigned seats, sit down. Now, hurry up. Now. Hurry up. The way said, found our seats. We're right in a giant circle. It's a setup so that everyone can see everyone else. It'd be easy for anyone to transfer the attention unease on anyone else. It seemed to grow heavy as we sat there. So the curtain. Our first case open. Deadly Judgment. Deadly Deception. Deadly Betrayal. A Deadly Riddle. A Deadly Defense. A Deadly Fate. A Deadly Class Trial. Ooh, I wish if I know that, I would do it right there. But yeah, we could. Yeah, we would have been able to text from that. I gotta learn.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Of course!
Okay then. Everyone, close your eyes. And whoever did it, raise your hand.
Don't be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand?
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick? What's going on with those pictures?
I'd feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier.
Friendship penetrates?
Okay, but what about that other empty seat? There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people. Okay, that about does it for the preamble. Get ready to get started. First up is the case summary. Now, let the class trial begin.
It's about to begin the debate to decide who we think the killer is. I think I noticed I have to be ready to speak up about everything. This is about me, so everyone else life on the line. First non-stop debate is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? With this class trial, you'll engage in a number of non-stop debates. Discussion characters will speak after a pause. Do you analyze the contradiction buried within the statements? It means that you'll have to use truth bullets to refute what they say. Any relevant truth bullets are found during your investigation will be loaded in the truth element. So left stick to aim and then fire with the Y button. Let go to detonate the character's statement and use your truth bullets to blast the right one. Now if you time you'll automatically fail, so please be careful. And press the menu button during these arguments to give you the controls. Good luck and have fun!
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono!
Yeah, we know that part already. And the murder took place in Moto's room.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono!
Yeah, we know that part already.
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
No, that's wrong! Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked. With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
A struggle? Between who and who?
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom?
She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then, she ran to the
Yeah, based on
bathroom
the
to
evidence,
try
it
and
definitely
hide.
obviously looks that way.
The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Sorry.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real trial.
Determine what used to kill Sayaka.
So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon!
So the killer used some random knife they had on it.
No, it's wrong! No. I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach. And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that
That's
get
a
us?
very good question.
I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
Link it up, suspecting your ass.
Right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime. What more proof do you need?
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after we've presented our arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
His
I don't
name
think
is
that's
written
true
on
at
the
all.
wall. I mean, no,
I'm
they
sure
don't
if we
want
keep at it,
bring
something
that
new
up.
will reveal itself.
Yeah, but it looks
You
really
really believe that?
Paul Beckman, right? It's gotta be Brickman somewhere. Waiting for us to find it. I know damn well I'm not the killer. Concentrate by holding down the right bumper. Trying to time will slow down so you can pay close attention to whatever it's saying. Saying you're making it easier to point to potential weak spots. Concentrate like assuming the focus gaze and the gaze after you can concentrate. The focus gaze will recover over time, so let your brain take a rest in no time. Need the rest? Go look and have fun.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon.
But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it in secret when nobody was in the dining hall. And then he went and stabbed Sayaka with it.
So he really did do it.
Yes, and it's been decided. We've reached the end.
Oh. Way the people didn't take the name. Just in Danganronpa, they should be able to do it.
So I guess there's no question the kitchen knife was the murder weapon.
But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it in secret.
Why is it moving? What the fuck?
And then he went and stabbed Sayaka with it.
So he really did do it.
Push it. It should stay in the fucking spot.
Been decided. We've reached the end.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the weapon.
But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it when nobody was in the dining hall.
No, that's wrong. Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
Next, you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier? Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't there.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall, but I wasn't there the entire time. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this? What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together, and lying to protect each other?
Idiot swimmer girl? Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something
she has
like
no
that?
reason to lie from.
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of
Right.
profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
But what if they did work together, and they just didn't know about the rule?
Ugh, good grief. Enough already. No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case. Oops, did I say that out loud?
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife. So I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then, who did take the knife?
Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall.
No way! I swear it wasn't me!
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that?
I can.
That's right! Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
Me.
right.
But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because, well...
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over. Which means we have airtight alibis.
You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations?
We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms, but it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room. So, I don't think that's a problem.
Yeah, think about it in the world's best.
It is a problem! A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's unwholesome!
The both girls.
I'm a girl.
You
Yeah,
are?
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry!
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
Oh, yeah, that's true! One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Well, because they're not here anymore.
It's not here? What are we talking about?
Sayaka. She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later, she wound up dead.
Took the night to defend herself.
I got it! Then, Sayaka is the one who took the
Afraid for
knife?
her life.
That's the only possibility. And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual. When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen. As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely...
And the person who took the knife was the victim herself.
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it? In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
Yeah, boy.
What?
See? He did do it after all.
No, you're wrong.
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction? You possess a most terrifying talent.
I didn't do it. They're gonna blame me for the murder. Don't they understand? Convict me, everyone's gonna die.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto was the killer, wouldn't you say? Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
So it's Hangman's Gambit. I would like to hear about it? Yeah. Things advance further in the class trial that Hangman's Gambit will eventually take place, but it will reveal an important phrase related to the incident in question. You have to decide the phrase from the letters flying around. Complete the phrase by shooting the flying letters in the right order. In the weapon. Shoot the wrong letters and suffer damage to your fluence gauge. If you reach zero, you run out of time and fail. Look down there from. Crimes that wasn't there. It must be point.
Now I understand.
Oh, it's obvious. I can say about the armor letters.
That's right. There wasn't a single hair on the floor.
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes. And if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there. That makes sense, does it not?
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Yes, very true, very true. Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Wait, then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Then Makoto isn't the culprit?
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
I would like to hear these reasons.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene? Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
Killer's trying to get into the bathroom here, but the proof is... got a big broken... which was the doorknob.
I got it! Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
You like tell me I'll take a photo of it?
True.
What the heck?
But what does it mean?
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
You still don't see? Okay then. Let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
Kyoko said it was a bull-wondering act. I said that was the first, but the key point here. That's the base. From here on out, the number of weak spots will start going up. How many weak spots there are essentially only one line contradiction in the debate. I'm trying to say is not all weak spots you see are false, truthful, and the wrong one, and not only will you fail to refute what they said, also blow your trust with everyone, and your flow gaze will take damage. Now is important because if your own gaze is zero, you fail. Relying on logic determine which weak spots are actually lies or contradictions. But good luck and have fun.
The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka was first attacked in the main room. She then fled into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran after her and got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door because Sayaka had locked.
No, it's wrong. The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked.
Because the door frame.
After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with locking bathrooms, right?
Yes. Yes. Now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be. But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door. That's not lucky at all.
True.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place? Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
Killer's bathroom was locked. Didn't know the door actually couldn't be locked.
I got it! The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable.
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Somehow the nameplate's got
Say what?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms. Which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then
there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through.
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
Ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. But the killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is
definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
That is a definite possibility.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
I've been trying to tell you.
Okay, then who did do it?
I'm sorry, but I give up! Quit without saving!
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
The person gets away.
Well, why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules!
Majority rules? You really think that's a good idea?
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I do have one question.
Oh, you...
You gotta sound so disappointed.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit
That's
get
a great
into
question.
Makoto's room in the first place?
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
Yeah, but if they switched rooms, it would be Makoto's key,
way
man.
too convenient.
Very good key.
Then maybe someone picked the lock?
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just let him in.
No, that can't be it either.
Told him not to open the door.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place. Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
Because she asked me to do something in particular. How frightened she was. The answer right here, there. I'll let someone in because... True.
I got it! Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
Same for Sayaka, no. Told him not to let anyone in.
Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
What if her being scared was a lie?
Huh? Well, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
I want to talk to you about this. Us too. 5 minutes come see me in my room. Check the main place to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil. And these are the words that appeared.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows. When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I have to make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes. Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room. Huh? Which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
So, Makoto, did you write
look
this?
at his face.
No, I didn't. But...
Of course you didn't, because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
But why? Why would she write that?
Gretchen.
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone. She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on me.
But can we be sure anyone even got this note? And honestly, even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened.
Huh? What makes you say that?
Would you like to hear what I have to say? Very well then, pay attention. Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room that... So in other words, even if someone did read the note and did what it said, they would not have any connection to what happened.
It certainly would seem that way.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But no, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room that Makoto left.
No, it's wrong.
Hell, somebody switched the nameplate.
The nameplates on Mai and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
They got switched?
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves. As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
Right?
Okay, then who did it?
The only person who switched the nameplates. The only person who switched the nameplates was...
I got it! Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
You can also infer as much from her note.
I want to touch. Let's make sure you don't get the wrong room.
She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room. That's where the answer lies.
What happened then was probably whoever she invited over came in and attacked her. We figured it out! We know who did it! Whoever she invited over is the culprit!
Yep.
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot!
Who you invited over? Who she invited over?
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes? Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
Yes, I think you're right.
Then... we just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
Reminds me, there was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
He said no, Sayaka's wrist broken with a fake sword. Get Sayaka's wrist.
I got it! All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen, there's something glittery there. See?
The gold paint.
Is that gold?
From the sword.
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you. And there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword, right there on her wrist!
I see. And
So the truth draws ever closer.
All right, then it's about time to solve this mystery.
Listen, if that's what we need to make clear, I bet not that. And you see that debates, then the next debate I'll start loading multiple truth bullets in this truth cylinder. It's like the weak spots, only one of these bullets can actually refute the proper statement. Or if we run out, we'll have to combine the right truth bullet to the right weak spot to refute the statement. Come up with the wrong combination, you'll take damage if close the gauge. Use the left bumper to rotate the cylinder and choose the bolt to fire. Press and release the left bumper, press cycle through the bullet. Left bumper, then leave the left to select the specific particular bullet. It's a lot difficult to set the kind field posts with loaded in the cylinder. First this time, more difficult to set the mean.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
And that's what broke Miss Maizono's wrist.
So she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away.
But then the culprit took that from her too.
And they killed her with it.
And that's exactly what happened. When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword.
Oh, come on! It went there! You dumbass!
She tried to fight back.
Don't do that. Did that.
She grabbed the
That was
kitchen knife she
bullshit.
had hidden away.
Yeah, it was
Then the
bullshit.
culprit
Yeah, it was
took that from
bullshit.
her too.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Bullshit.
That's exactly what
Bullshit.
happened.
Bullshit.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
No, it's wrong. Actually, no. I don't think the fight started with the sword.
Why not?
Because the sword's sheath had scratched. See? There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with something sharp.
Something sharp? You mean like the kitchen knife? That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
Stop jumping ahead. Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath. If you were going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
If they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse. In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from the knife?
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked first.
Hello.
I think I get it.
Right there,
So
man.
here's how it all played out.
When
The culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere. Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening.
Crack around that named Dark Blue.
So she grabbed the sword to defend herself. But then the culprit took that from her too. And after they broke her wrist with the sword, they took the knife and finished it.
Sorry, but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
What? How the hell can you not think that?
Because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part of her body that makes this clear.
Wait, she never used the sword?
I got it! You're talking about her palms, right? The palms of her hands were perfectly clean, so I don't think she ever picked up the sword.
How can you know that just by looking at her palms?
Because remember the painted.
Like I said before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it. In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle. It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands. There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
Maybe she washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
Sorry, but I don't think so.
Why do you say that? Is it because you think I'm ugly?
Jeez, why is that always her answer?
No, that's not it at all.
Seriously, I mean, I have insecurity issues, but geez. Really, those coming off the end because whatever it's done off.
I got it! According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time of death was around 1:30 a.m. In other words, at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower yet.
Oh my.
You're no different. You smell like a big fat ugly donkey.
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
That was not a compliment, dude.
Insult, obviously.
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means the killer is the only one who used the sword. But hold on. That's right. And the one who damaged the sheath with the kitchen knife was...
I got it!
Could have been Sayaka.
Sayaka? She had the kitchen knife?
But we already said that the attack started with...
To piece together that seemed like...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
Because of what you saw in the video.
And the one who attacked first
Dan
was...
everything there.
Sayaka?
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim in this.
Well, it makes sense.
No, far from it. It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own. She took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in. And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation...
Indeed. These are all the actions of an assailant.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct? Maybe the reason she wanted to switch rooms was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility, is it not?
It does seem that way.
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
That would also explain why she would switch the nameplates. She wanted to get whoever she had targeted to come to Makoto's room where she was staying. And by committing the murder there, instead of her room, that would implicate Makoto. But for that to work, the target had to be lured out while still keeping the room swap a secret. If the target knew she had switched rooms, they would have become suspicious right away.
So all that's why she switched the names?
But Doesn't that plan seem a little risky? For one thing, even if her plan worked, Mr. Naegi would just tell everyone they'd switched rooms.
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable of that kind of cutthroat behavior. I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is why out of all of us, she asked him to switch rooms.
Plus, she was the ultimate pop sensation. A totally forgettable kid. Or a national superstar. Who are you more likely to believe?
Wait, then you're saying she had this all planned out?
Holy shit!
But in the end, her plan backfired. She launched her attack with the knife, then found herself under attack in turn. That must be when her wrist got broken, and she was forced to drop the knife.
The tables were suddenly turned on her, and she died at the hands of the one she'd planned to murder.
Just hold on! That can't be true! Because...
Hey! You guys have totally derailed the argument. You're being super boring right now. Come on, hurry up and decide who did it. Wouldn't it be awful if I had to punish you all just because you ran out of time?
Oh yeah, we gotta decide who we think did it.
Makoto, right now you just need to concentrate on figuring out the answer to this mystery. If we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka, it's over for all of us.
The person that did the murder gets away. I'm committed to finding out who the real killer is, but what can I do? I mean, as far as clues go, that's not true. A big clue left that we have on
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
Come on.
Very well. Then let's review all the clues we've found up to this point one more time.
Do we really have time for all that?
Die!
Oh,
Die! If we don't do something, we're all gonna die!
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues.
That's wrong.
No, it's wrong. There still might be one clue left. Sayaka's dying message.
Dining? Wait, what did you say?
The dying message. She wrote something on the wall behind
They
her,
say it's
remember?
letters, but it's obviously
11037.
Leon spelled
Written in
backwards.
her own blood. There must be a clue about the killer hidden in there.
Well, before we get too far into that, I need to ask, can we really be sure that Sayaka is the one who wrote it?
I got it! Her left index finger had blood on it. That could only be because she used that finger to write the message.
I see. She broke her right wrist during the fight, so she'd have to use her left hand to write.
Sure. I think we can all agree Sayaka wrote it. But still, what the heck do those numbers mean?
Oh my god, numbers!
11037?
Hey,
How does
Chihiro,
nobody see
you're
that?
a computer nerd or whatever, right? You
Oh,
should know all
obvious.
about numbers and shit.
No, that's not... Yes, I'm a programmer, but I don't see any kind of meaning in these numbers.
Of course. It's because
Thank
they're
you,
not
Kyoko.
numbers.
Oh, yeah, it looks like...
Huh? What?
Can't believe he's
No,
the only
it's
one
just
to figure that
I
out.
look at the
Oh,
numbers, assuming they're not numbers. Don't these first two, 1-1, look less like two numbers and more like one letter?
Ah, you're right. The connecting line is barely there. so I assumed it was 1-1, but looking at it now, you could also read it as an N.
Whoa, you might have finally just said something worth a shit.
Hey, good going, Nafume. Only took you long enough
But
to
even if
figure out
that
what that
really
meant.
is an N, N037 doesn't make any more sense than before.
Oh. Jeez.
Rotate the image 180 degrees.
She's the only one that gets this doll. I mean, it's obvious. I think I maybe see something.
Oh my god. Now I see. She wrote down the killer's name.
Huh? You just shot past the clue part and right onto who did it. So, whose name did she write?
Dying message real to kill his name, no name. Turn the message 180 degrees. Come crystal clear. There's only one Leon.
Here's my answer.
You're not getting any longer.
The key to solving this mystery was simply to rotate the writing 180 degrees. If you turn the message around...
Oh, I saw that. I knew from the very beginning.
It becomes the letters L-E-O-N. L-E-O-N. Or more accurately, Leon.
Go back and watch the video from the other day on
What the
YouTube.
hell are you
Well,
talking
on
about?
YouTube.
It's just a
Where
coincidence.
we found the body, I said.
Just a bunch of
when I
random
looked at the
squiggles
writing, I
that
said,
happen to look like my name.
Obviously says Leon.
No, it's not random at all. She wrote that message on the wall behind her as she was leaning up against it. In that position, she couldn't move to write normally and had to write upside
Also,
down,
fact
as it
of
were.
she's bleeding to death, so that sort of really makes it hard to
And as a
do.
result, when you look at it standing in front of her, it ends up getting flipped. Try it for yourself if you want. Write something sitting like her, and the letters will be inverted.
That sounds like one hell of a stretch to me.
Granted, freaking the only thing
I'm
that
the
makes
killer?
sense.
You can't just go and say shit like that.
If you're not the killer, then why did you try to destroy the evidence?
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The evidence Leon tried to get rid of?
Evidence Leon tried to get rid of. Found in front of the with the piece of shirt. It had blood on it.
I got it! You mean the burnt shirt piece I found laying on the ground by the incinerator, right?
As the killer stabbed Sayaka, they must have gotten some of her blood on them. And to dispose of the shirt covered in the victim's blood, they threw it into the incinerator.
But one piece burned off and got left behind.
And the killer didn't notice. If they had, they most certainly would have panicked. Isn't that right, Leon?
Well, looks like it's shirt.
But is one scrap of fabric enough to conclude that Leon is guilty?
Yeah, I mean, Leon's not the only one wearing a white button-up.
That's right. There are plenty of other people here with shirts like mine.
True.
With just that one little charred piece, there's no way you can say for sure who it belongs to.
You're right. That alone isn't enough. But there are some other points that may reveal the truth.
Are you finally starting to understand? The answers to all the riddles are right here.
Yeah, I think so.
That means this shirt the killer wasn't able to get rid of. Something about we need to pay attention.
I got it! if you look closely at how the shirt was disposed of, we should be able to figure out who the killer
the gate
is.
was closed on the incinerator.
Oh yeah, that's a good
Up until
point.
that point, so
I
it
think I
was
know what
easy
you're gonna
to
say.
Get rid of.
You can't reach the incinerator without opening the gate in front of the trash room, right? And obviously, you wouldn't be able to hit the switch to turn it on either.
Unless you're
You need the
very
key to
good
get
at
in.
roaming.
And the one with the key was the person on cleaning duty. So the killer had to be whoever was in charge of taking care of the trash, right?
Interesting.
No, it's wrong. There's no way to use the incinerator without being the one on clean duty. This exactly would prove that Leon is the own killer. But he's the ultimate baseball star. Forgot about that.
The key to the trash room. Whoever was on cleaning duty must have had it, right?
So the only one who could get to the incinerator was the person in charge of the trash?
And you'd have to get close to the incinerator in order to destroy the evidence.
No, it's wrong. Hold on. I think I know how someone could dispose of the evidence without using the trash room key.
Yep.
But if you can't get past the gate, you couldn't possibly turn on the incinerator, could you?
Yes, you could. If you used this.
What is it, some kind of glass ball? It's busted to hell.
Actually, it was supposed to be a crystal ball, but,
But how would you use it?
Oh, we had to throw it.
I got it! The killer simply took aim at the incinerator switch and threw the ball through a gap in the gate. All they had to do was hit that switch, and the incinerator would come to life. Someone threw that through a gap in the gate? Remember what you said before, Hifumi?
Someone turned the incinerator on. The Grayson Grayson that was off the last time I went down there. So we're going to the ferry.
Hifumi had the key, so the only way the incinerator could have been turned on without his knowledge was because the killer was able to hit the switch without opening the gate. Once they got the incinerator going, all they had to do was ball up the shirt and toss it in.
Hey, come on! What the hell is this?
All you have to do is look at the scene to know that the killer never actually went inside the trash room. The shards of broken glass, the incinerator left running, the piece of shirt that escaped the fire. If the killer had been on cleaning duty, the evidence would have been taken care of much more thoroughly.
But because most likely the shirt
Wait, no, just
sleeve is
hold
left
on.
out. It burned
But
off,
the
fell
distance
off.
from the
No,
gate to the incinerator has to be at least
it fell
30
down
feet,
and then
right?
ended up in the incinerator.
the pinpoint accuracy you'd need to throw a glass ball that far and hit something that small.
You have to be one hell of a
Did
thrower.
someone really do that?
That's right. There's no way. It'd be
Except
impossible.
we know it's possible because we know what
Difficult,
you're good
absolutely.
at. Your ultimate
Impossible?
expertise
I don't think
is.
so. Because the killer is...
The ultimate baseball star.
I got it! Because the killer is the ultimate baseball star. Isn't that right, Leon?
Do you have any idea how stupid you sound right now?
A target 30 feet away would surely be little challenge for the ultimate baseball star.
You can't
For
be
serious.
I'm not the killer! These goddamn shipper brains have got it all wrong, I'm telling you!
You still won't admit it? Okay then. Makoto, go ahead and review the incident one more time to make his crime perfectly clear. And with that, we can end this.
Listen to me! What the hell do you mean, end this? Say what you want, Leon. But all the questions have been answered, and the truth has been revealed. Now here's what happened.
Every case has one last closing argument to bring the class trial to end. This is the closing argument. In this phase, you'll give a complete summary of the case, of the pre-produce the flow of the events from the case in form of a comic book. You notice that in the comic there are no pieces missing. If you complete the comic using the provide truth panels, also if you pick aim at the missing section and press A button, holy cow, you'll get a hint that might lead to a breakthrough. Select that and have fun.
The killer is you! I think I'd better take one more look back at the case from the beginning. Last night, the killer went to the room Sayaka was in. In other words, my room. From what we can tell, Sayaka invited that person there intending to kill them. She attacked them with the knife she'd taken from the kitchen earlier. But then something happened that she wasn't prepared for.
Grab the sword.
They grabbed the fake sword I put in my room and fought back. During the struggle, a strike from the sword broke Sayaka's right wrist. And that's when she lost her grip on the kitchen knife. Finding herself cornered, Sayaka panicked and ran into the bathroom. The killer went after her, but couldn't get the bathroom door open. What they didn't know was that my bathroom door got stuck easily, and there was a trick to opening it. Sayaka knew about that because I told her, but of course the killer had no way of knowing. So instead, the killer forced the door open, took the kitchen knife, and stabbed Sayaka. But with what strength she had remaining, Sayaka left a dying message. To keep Killer from noticing, she wrote it on the wall behind her. And with that, all her strength was gone. With Sayaka dead, the killer quickly began destroying the evidence. First, they took off their shirt, which was covered in their victim's blood. Then they took the lint roller in my room and cleaned up the entire area. They wanted to make sure they got rid of any trace they'd ever been there. Afterwards, the killer headed to the trash room to destroy their bloody shirt. They tried to burn the shirt using the incinerator there. But the trash room was blocked off by an especially sturdy gate, preventing access to the incinerator. So they came up with a plan to use Hiro's crystal ball, which he left in the laundry room. The killer managed to throw the ball through the gap in the gate and hit the incinerator switch. For any normal person, that'd be an impossible throw, but the killer had the confidence to take a shot. And that's because the killer was the ultimate baseball star. The crystal ball, thrown with absolute precision, hit the switch on the incinerator, which then quickly roared to life. Having destroyed the final piece of evidence, they left the area with, I imagine, a sigh of relief. But there was one thing they missed.
The shirt. And like I said, that's what I thought. I said that a few minutes ago. I said that's what must have happened.
Part of the shirt they'd thrown into the fire, burnt away, and fell out of the incinerator. The killer didn't notice this, and so left behind a piece of indisputable evidence. Isn't that right, Leon? It would appear that Hiro simply forgot his crystal ball in the laundry room. You went there to try and wash the blood out of your shirt, and that's where you saw it, right?
Could be.
Seeing the ball, you thought of a way to take care of everything.
So, Leon, do you object to anything that's been said?
Do I object? Yes, I object! Of course I do! I object! I object! I object! I mean, all of this is just a bunch of stupid theories! You need evidence! Where's the evidence? Without evidence, it's all bullshit! It's bullshit and I refuse to acknowledge it!
Well then, I guess this is as good a time as any to present the evidence that proves you did it. Makoto, I believe you're in possession of that evidence.
I have the evidence. That's the beginning. Oh, you know what? Sometimes in class trial, your opponent will simply want to hear what you have to say. say. Evans engaged them in a head-to-head battle, referred to as full-time battle, BTB. Well, you want to show your opponent's students in the time with the rhythm. Yeah, boy. As you match your button pressing with the tempo marked as they move across the screen and reach the center. A button lock onto the opponent's statement. Statement you lock down with the Y button as the tempo meter reaches the center. Deal damage to the opponent if you can't pull off the unlimited pain. Like, consecutively, start a combo, keep this up until you get the tempo up. Aside, you keep missing, you'll get into a tempo down situation. So it does time for anything. Button so much out. Deal enough damage to the opponent in that weak spot will appear immediately. At this point, you press the Y button to shoot. Shoot button. Get a statement. Shoot the statement. Fast enough, you'll come out victorious. But like before, if your float gauge reaches 0, you run out of time. You're out of time. You fail. Good luck and have fun. Like.
When the killer removed the screws from the doorknob, they didn't use anything from your room to do it. Instead, they must have used something that belonged to them.
Something that could have been.
I refuse to acknowledge you. You're stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Stupid, 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 stupid.
Any little evidence that Leon is color you need to figure out.
Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. It wasn't me. Stupid. You lie. Shut up. You kidding me? Not a chance. You lie. Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. It wasn't me. Stupid. You lie. Shut up! You kidding me? Not a chance! You lie! I refuse to give up yet!
when the killer removed the instead.
I refuse to ignore. Stupid, stupid. Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. It wasn't me. Stupid. You lied. Shut up. You kidding me? Not a chance. You lied. Where's your proof? Where's your proof? This should prove it.
Got it.
The screws on the bathroom doorknob were removed.
Got like.
I wonder
got
what
like,
kind of tool the killer used to remove them.
Oh, this jacket thing.
I mean, it had to be a screwdriver, right?
Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure the toolkits we got each have one inside.
And that must be what he used. There aren't any other tools anywhere.
But the toolkit in my room had clearly never been used.
That's because the culprit didn't know it was your room. They thought they were in Sayaka's room.
Only the boys got toolkits, so the killer naturally assumed there wouldn't be one in there.
Okay, then whose toolkit did the killer use?
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
It had to be their very own toolkit.
Stupid, 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 stupid!
Leon, would you mind showing us your toolkit? If I'm right about this, then the screwdriver will show some evidence of being used.
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
Huh? And if you say you used it for something else, you'll have to explain exactly when, where, and why.
And let me say this right now. I lost it isn't an excuse at this point.
Stupid. Stupid.
So, you have no rebuttal?
Then it would seem we are finished here.
Yes.
Looks like you've reached your verdict. Then are we ready to cast our votes? You all have a lever in front of you. Use it to make your selection. Oh, just to remind you all, make triple sure you vote for someone. You wouldn't want to be punished for something so minor, right? Okay, then let's get excited! Who will be chosen as the Blackened? Will you make right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
I'm guilty. Come on now, then get the guilty prize. Where the money? Like in this case, the one that killed Sayaka. Leon, Kawana.
Huh? Hey, hold on.
Yeah. Did you really kill Sayaka?
Don't believe me.
You son of a
you.
bitch!
I didn't have a choice.
Killed or be killed.
So
Killed her
that's
first.
why. None of you are any
Definitely
different.
the one standing here. I can't that was run up like this.
I was just
Look, get at it.
unlucky. That's all.
You killed her after she was in the bathroom. You're
Hey,
killed
come
everybody
on!
else. And it could become clear. It made it right after all. I think about that. I'll say, well, if I'm wrong, come with the real truth. Truth was the actor's trying to frame me. But if that's the truth, I think she was wrong. After all, the mastermind? Well, because of that video. I can handle what I saw in there. If that video actually had something to do with me, I can't even imagine. A chapter with no way out. They're probably waiting for me. Can't find to be stuck in here. The only thing that was pointing there than anything else, the dreams of friends. They have to see something like that happen in Sayaka. But do whatever it takes to reach that dream. I mean it. It was something that was so pleasant. Sayaka for her friends, it meant so much to her. That's why she betrayed me. She said,
No matter what happens, please always be there for me. I need you on my side.
Side me from the very beginning, she was using me. Is that why she talked to me in the first place? I guess I'll never know. I could ask her what she was thinking. When she's dead, that's that. Probably the entertainment industry must be terrifying, huh? I've tried to kill someone because of those relationships. Nice and all level on the outside, but inside she's setting up your madness. What'd you say? She didn't really do. Yep. You're in utter despair thanks to Sayaka's betrayal, right? Compassionate, let's say love, those strong those feelings are stronger than despair when they collapse. Screwing with it's all your fault. Sayaka was forced to do something like that. All of it, everything. It's all your fault. Your friends are yelling at Kumo, but
that's enough.
There was Kyoko lights onto my arm without hesitation. It gripped like an iron strong. If I was sure it would leave a bruise.
Calm down.
Like, your enemies pay for what they've done. Need to let it go for now. It's got a point. Damn it. That's why I thought for sure you were gonna give me a good walloping. Punishment you did. And then
Yes,
since you back to
indeed.
the real DNA to kill it during the trial, like on Leon, go on out. Well, now we'll receive his punishment.
Punishment? You mean execution?
Execution?
Wait a second!
I didn't have a choice, I had to kill her.
Yeah,
Like
that's
myself
it.
in the heat of the moment, self-defense. Stop being that way when you chase after her in the bathroom. Especially in the bathroom, if you did not, very took it. After she set herself in the bathroom, you went out of your way to head back to your own room. Then came all the way back, broke into the bathroom, and killed her. Am I wrong?
Do you
Stop what
understand?
you were doing, but chose not to. Not because you had clouded intent to commit murder.
So that's
Then
why.
Stop it. I've had enough of this.
Oh.
You sure you're closer than anyone? Were you not? Oh, the impressive Sayaka. Don't you understand? I guess they only have us solely to blame. I'm planning on blaming Sayaka either. Because the only one to blame is him. Huh? Yeah, this would never have happened. Sayaka and Leon. We should be fighting each other. Fighting against the one who put us in the situation's mastermind. Sense of justice? There's nothing more ethical wavering sense of justice. After all, it's people with that sort of mentality that betray world for the world. Kind of sense of justice that awakens within you. Shut up! Well, more importantly, sorry if I get to what we're going for the punishment.
I'm begging you! Please! Don't do this!
Hey, come
Or
on
breaking the rules gives
now.
you pay the penalty for breaking the rules. Sorry, demands it.
Stop, please!
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For the ultimate baseball player.
No, 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 no!
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
No!
And guilty. Time for the punishment. Oh my god. What we saw, True Face Despair. We called that. What else could we call it?
Extreme!
Extreme! Alright, coming right now.
I can't take it.
Anymore. Keep doing this? Can't take it. Don't like it. Just swear to cut all ties with the outside world and accept living here forever. If only a single one of you could get on board with that. Man, fuck
Damn you!
What the fuck are you doing all this evil shit to us?
What the heck?
I sound like I'm a dark elf, secret society type of guy.
Say what?
In case a dark elf society type of bear.
Well,
putting standing things like me and calling a deal.
Hey,
You're trying to common sense to make sense of something that doesn't make sense. I'm trying to put a smile on this. You know, I just don't think it's possible. I don't know what you're saying. I'm saying quick bit.
Shit.
You can say I don't know what you're. I don't know who you are, but I'm gonna pound your ass into the ground. Like you get so angry, huh? Yeah, you're barking way up the wrong tree. Oh, it happens because of one of you said one of the gap, right? I was trying to pass it. You can't free of your regrets when outside world. You can't. You're the blame. You can't cut free of the outside world. Being trapped in the same place. You're trapped, are you? I'm sure you're the only member streets of the school. You're thinking change for sure. Boy, it's just wonderful how we're all gonna live here forever. What are you trying to say?
What does this mean?
Like there's some deeper meaning in there. Just like before.
Thrills, chills, kills!
Hey. Everyone, who is that girl you're referring to? I said it. Everything I've got to say. He does save some fun for later. It's like that, he was gone. Left us there, spoiled by nightmare turned reality. After it's gone, we stood there forever unable to move. Actually, no, it was longer than that, I think. It just lost a sense of time. We're all too scared. Scared of being alone. No one even tried to speak. Their faces stone, their faces dry. But it was in that moment. Kodo, can I talk to you for a second? Cause didn't close whisper in my ear. We're back. So I want to talk to you about Bethayaka, isn't it? Surprised you figured it out. I told you before this class trial started to figure out the mystery of this case yourself. And I realized that Sayaka betrayed me by myself. Thought never crossed my mind. I feel like that's a fool becomes such an easy target like that. I have to double cross you the fact that you can never change. But even that till the very end, she wasn't sure of her decision. That's why she's really dying. She was thinking of you. Think of me? You can't say something like that. I mean, there's no way you could know that. Seka would know for sure. You can't ask her.
However,
you can't ask her. You're gonna get inferred, don't you think? Final thought was how she could protect you. What? She could have left after you to leave a dying message proves that she didn't care what happened to you. She never would have left that message. To get back at the person that killed her. Possibility.
Certainly.
But I don't think that was it. She was so uncertain.
Anyway.
So unsure she could kill someone to deceive you. That's when her plan failed. She didn't track the failure. Somewhat ironic when you think about it. Why are you telling me this? The kind of person who can overcome this. Past the death of your friends, Saka and Leon, keep moving forward.
Correct.
On someone like that, the others would never be able to break free of such a desperate situation. Past their death? I can never do that. No. I'm gonna carry them on with the rest of my life. Past them like that. Leon, Sayaka, I'll carry them with me forever. Merge with me wherever I go. Forget I'm choosing the hard road. I've had expectation for you. She said that you feel the smallest smile.
Hey.
By the way, I have to admit, I'm curious. How do you know I want to talk to you about Sayaka? Oh, I'm psychic. Huh?
What?
King, I just have good intuition. Chapter 1 survived. And you'll be continued. It's a spare bat present. Get one of Lily's stummers. Oops. That is a good spot. And today we got to do the first chapter like I wanted to do today. We'll continue this on Monday. But tomorrow there will be no guest because I am going to the movies. So I'm gonna cast some art up on Sunday. Will be sunny afternoon. Will be hopefully Sleeping Dogs. Year Snake wrapping that up. Now I say that because I'm actually gonna be working a little bit on my internet Sunday sometime. So actually on my cable it doesn't work affect the cable, but the problem is the kitchen. I have a TV. I have my TV in the kitchen right now. Just I cannot get it the so that's the problem is like like I said, like I said, hopefully it won't be a problem because I really want to get it done. And it's like the plan was to do Horizon Zero Dawn on Sunday, but because I didn't finish Sleeping Dogs DLC, I really want to finish it. There's like no real time we would be able to fit in otherwise. So, and like I'm trying to avoid spoilers as is. Yeah, you just. So, again, so I'm hoping hopefully won't be too much of trouble for Sunday. Monday and Tuesday we'll continue on with this. Begin chapter 2. And then Wednesday hopefully on Wednesdays I'll be show 21. And Thursday night we'll definitely start Horizon Zero Dawn. And Horizon Forbidden West, excuse me. And right back here next weekend for more Trigger Happy Havoc Anniversary Edition on Friday and Saturday. So yeah, that's it. Come schedule my channel and see if we got lots of keys. Like I said, we on with this week. We've got coming up. Like I said, we're starting Rise of Forbidden West. Zero Dawn like an idiot. Forbidden West, I'm an idiot. Coming up next month, Far Cry 6. It's coming up later this year. Here goes the 6th. So much other good stuff planned. Including Star Wars, the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga. So much good stuff planned. So follow me on social media so when I go live, put your tweets, Instagram, all kinds of games. Go to Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Spring YouTube guys, do the page, follow the page, and pep in the future, including all casts of Lego games we played, the Yakuza series, the played through Sleeping Dogs so far. Played through with Horizon Zero Dawn and lots more. Killing Box, Raise, Convention, all kinds of good stuff. It's got Discord if we don't want stuff on the future. And if you want a full idea what we got planned for the rest of 2022 tentatively, we do have a scheduling page. Oh, let's see. Let's find the host. Talkers on. Playing Horizon Forbidden West, I don't want to. And it's not like it. It's just that again, I just want to. Let's see what's. a little bit too much divisive. I think I found somebody playing next to Uncharted 4. In fact, the Town 87 is playing Uncharted 4, like I said, decent. I got that one that looks fun, trying to relate, because the movie came out this weekend, so yeah. Let's them up. Till next time, go everyone. Peace.